Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Nasty Talks. Today, we have a new guest. Her name is Oana, and we will be talking about relationships and how the mental health issues that most of us have can have a big influence on how our relationship dynamic is. So let's see what Oana's perspective and life experience is about this subject. Hello, Oana. Welcome to the Nasty Talks.
Hi, Nicoletta. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy that you're on the podcast, and I'm so happy for the discussion that we're going to have today. It's going to be really intimate, I feel.
Intimate?
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, yes, but maybe not what our listeners are going to think about as an intimate, but more like deep.
Deep. Okay, let's go deep. But let's start with the surface.
Yeah.
I want to know a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
So I'm Oana. I'm 23 years old. I've been living in Denmark for almost 5 years now. And soon enough, I'm relocating back home. So finishing my journey in Denmark and then starting a new chapter back home. So really excited about it. A bit freaked out, but at the same time, this is my decision. And then...
Yeah. Well, obviously, it's a bit hard when you have to move from a country to another, even though you've lived in Romania before. Yeah. But still,
I'm looking for the changes because I truly believe when you're as young as we are, you have to open some doors to Narnia and see what's on the other side. And then if that doesn't work out, you have all the freedom to change back.
Yeah, I agree. Now is the time to make changes and make mistakes and do everything as shitty as you want it to be.
Absolutely.
And however,
you don't want to do them when you're 55.
No, that's a bit late for it.
Yeah,
maybe it's an age where you want to settle a bit and be more cautious and mature in a sense. I think
absolutely.
Yeah.
And calm.
Yeah. What about the reason? What is the reason why you're moving from Denmark? A lot of people would say Denmark is a great country. We love it here.
Denmark is a great country for multiple of reasons, but I mean, I'm going to put the Romanian card on the table to say so. Romanians are very friendly and very welcoming, and sometimes you could end up missing that in Denmark. And it's not the thing that, I don't want to be integrated, or I don't want to learn Danish, or it's just, I feel that we function on different frequencies, and that's due to different cultural backgrounds and so on. But I think I've done everything that is possible to achieve in Denmark. Like, okay, I don't own a house, but I finished school and I found a job and I had the Danish boyfriend at some point and all that. And after that, I was just like, I think I need to change. So
I see that. Well, I also consider myself as, coming from Romania into Denmark. And sometimes I feel like I don't have the same, as you said, frequencies. And it's not really the same thing. But have you considered maybe going to another country rather than Romania?
I mean, not for now.
Well, why? Because you said that we're 23. We have to do shitty stuff. We have to, follow the dreams.
I mean, don't call me on. I might go to Mallorca at some point, or just go to Italy in 3 years' time. I would definitely consider another English-speaking country. I had my hardship with Danish, to say so, because it's difficult to pronounce us on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, either an English-speaking country or Spain, Italy, something. Something
more spicy.
It's so close to our language. You could pick up on that in half a year easily.
That's true. I was in France recently, and I've studied French for 8 years, but I had no freaking clue what they were saying. But I could understand, what they wanted to say, even though I didn't understand every word, word by word.
Yeah, but it's still Latin, so you pick up on similarities.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I think there's that. But exciting times.
Yeah.
And if I totally fail, I told everybody, you know what? Denmark is gonna still be in Denmark, on the same
Denmark
place on the map.
Here,
yeah, my workplace as well. And then if in 6 months it doesn't work, then I'll just bag up and come back here. And then there's fine.
That sounds like a really good plan.
I'm not living with hard feelings or anything. I'm just looking for the change. So it's not I hate Denmark. It's horrible here. No, none of that.
Yeah, I get it. Well, good luck with the plan.
Thank you so much.
And I hope it works. What about more sexual stuff? Let's talk about sexual stuff.
Sexual stuff.
Like a little bit of a background of your sex life or relationships.
So I'm straight.
Yes.
Let's start there. I had boyfriends. I had like summer boyfriends, and I had like long-term boyfriends, and I had long distance relationship boyfriends. God, don't start me on that.
Oh, I have actually never tried it, and I don't think I could. It's super hard.
No, it's hard. Like, it works for some people, and like I very appreciative of their relationships, but it drains you at some point, especially if you don't have partners that are equally implicated in making it work. And I had long-term relationships, serious relationships, moving in with people and stuff like that. So
do you have any memorable story from one of your relationships that could be worth mentioning?
So memorable, like in the good part, or like
however you want it to be?
However I want it to be.
I'm giving you the liberty.
Yeah. So I had a boyfriend at some point that we're starting a relationship at a distance. So we were in different cities, then we were in different countries, and then we were on different continents.
Oh, okay.
That was it's like keep escalating.
That's intense.
I just made a joke at it, like the next thing is gonna be different on being on different planets. Like, how do you go from here?
From the moon.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Yeah, send me flowers from the satellite.
No.
So, yeah, I think that I don't think I had any crazy stories with people, and I'm kind of happy I didn't have to go into like crazy. I never was a crazy girlfriend, and I never had crazy boy. Okay, that guy at some point.
I knew it.
For like 4 months into the relationship, I found out that he had, I don't know, bipolar disorder or something. So that was definitely hard to see someone go through medication and be by their side. And I was actually 16 at the time, and his mom, she probably should have taken some medication herself.
Oh, well, that's actually how it happens, right? Like, most of the times, all these diseases, they come from the parents and the way the parents raise the kids.
Yeah.
And it happens that one of the parents had also a disease or had an issue in their mental health. So then the kid got the disease.
Yeah. I think it was a case of traumatic, like divorced parents and stuff like that. So
that must be tough also.
But like seeing someone that's like 18 being put on meds, because there's a problem in not psychology but psychiatry.
Yeah.
That when you get kids, you pump them up with meds, and then like they stay quiet, but then the kid kind of becomes a vegetable.
Yeah.
Not physically, but they
but
like their energy is like they're dozed off a lot of times. And I had his mom being like, oh, you know what, like you have to decide now if you're gonna stick by his side and help him through this phase, because like, you know, he has to take his medication and he can be interrupted. And I was like, I'm 16, what? Yeah, and she would come by my house in the middle of the night to ask me what her kid is doing.
Oh.
And the kid wasn't with me. Like, where has he been there? Have you been having coffee with him that time of the day? Has we, like, I was like, this is not my issue. This is not my problem. It's your child. Please take care of your child.
I mean, normally you shouldn't be the one taking care of somebody that is ill. If you're in a relationship with somebody, then most of the times it's better for the person to heal on their own rather than in a relationship. So, and you're 16, so obviously there was no place for you to take care of an older person that was your boyfriend, but you were so young and it was not your problem. It was his mom's problem.
It's like it's definitely been some interesting boyfriends. I had the mama's boy at some point.
Oh, I didn't have that, but I don't want to have that.
No, like it's like it was ridiculous. Like we would go to his parents' house and his mom would like set the table for him and ask him, do you want some more? Do you want some more? Do you want more food? Do you need water? And I was like getting so pissed off. I was like, he's not disabled. Like he can pick up
it himself.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not a good look. Like, I don't want to tap into toxic masculinity, but it's just being an adult, because he was like, I don't know, 23 at the time. And like, I think his mom really loved him, and he lived in another city. So he would go visit home and stuff. And you're like, oh, when your child is home, you want to make him as comfortable as possible. And I feel the same when I go home with my mom, but I'm not like, oh, mom, you have to serve me food or stuff like that. I think it's just too much.
Yeah, it is. And it sets a wrong start for him when he's going to have relationships, because he's going to want the girlfriend to be the mom and to do everything for him, because he can't, because he hasn't been taught to do that.
Yeah. I think we have a problem with that in Romania. A lot of mama's boys.
Yeah. Oh, so this was in Romania, right?
Yeah.
This relationship. Yeah. It is happening a lot, and it's because of the culture, because women are doing everything when it comes to food, cleaning, everything around the house. That's a woman's job. And then when your kid is used to that, then he grows up knowing that the woman in his life is going to do all that. And that's so
absolutely
toxic and unhealthy, because now these women work as well and have other things to do than just, feeding you and cleaning after you and, while you sit with a beer and watch TV or a game or whatever. That's just...
And it's also the thing, because how in Denmark a lot of couples are divorced.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily see that in Romania, because people are used to sticking together. Yeah. Like, I can't divorce my husband because, like, what are
we
people
have
gonna
kids,
say?
And where would I go? And all those stuff like that. It's kind of like, well, you have kids, and the kids would be much happier if you two wouldn't be together.
Absolutely.
Obviously, because then there's no more fights, there's no more, arguments, and then they have two different lives that they can pick up on, two different perspectives to take into account, not a toxic one perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So then, that theory that you become a mama's boy, or like a child is
or
more
you have
together.
daddy issues.
Yeah, because when you have a relationship where the parents don't get along together well, then they focus solely on the kid.
Yeah.
And instead of having the healthy bond with their partner, they take some of that weight and emotions and put it into the relationship with the kid.
Yeah.
It's some triangle situation that it's supposed to be in a certain way, but it's...
And it's unhealthy, because that kid is getting so much attention, and even though it's a good type of attention, even though like that kid is, pampered and whatever, then he's going to grow up knowing that he can have whatever he wants in life because his parents are going to do that for him, and he's always going to have that attention from the parents. But when he grows, he's going to realize that that's not going to happen anymore. So there's going to be like a shift in the dynamic of his life, which is going to create a kind of, not a disease, but more like an emptiness in his life.
Yeah, and frustration, and you're like, oh, I actually have to go to work.
Yeah, and I actually have to take care of myself because my parents can't do that anymore.
One of the things I absolutely appreciate in Denmark is the fact that the kids actually move out when they're 18.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking about a different financial situation.
Of course.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But in most Latin countries, the kids are being pampered.
Yeah, until 30 years old. Almost. Like, I've heard men, living with their parents, and I'm like, dude, isn't it time?
Yeah, it's like, no, but I like it here. It's comfortable. Yeah,
like,
but you see your parents every single morning, and like you share a bathroom. Isn't that like, no?
Yeah, like,
no.
But I guess, the parents, they always like that, and they wouldn't kick their kids out because it's like, I like to have my kid here. Still makes me feel young that he's still home and he hasn't like flew the nest out and
and I've seen situations, and I talk with people, and they're like, oh, I didn't go to uni in a different city because my mom wouldn't let me.
I was like, I had the same situation. They didn't wanted me to go to another university in another city because they were like, well, why don't you go here? You're close to us, you don't have to move, and all that stuff. And I was like, nope, I'm going.
No, I didn't have to go for that, and I'm happy because my parents know me. If you tell me no, I'll absolutely do it. No. What do you mean no?
I'm the same.
Yeah.
It's
so
like the opposite.
I went home one day and I was like, Mom, I'm moving to Denmark when I'm finishing high school. And she was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. I had no idea where Denmark was on a fucking map.
Yeah, me neither. I did the same.
I guess we're going. Yeah. But it turned out fine. And it's a good experience, and it really puts you in your place, and it gives you responsibility, and it gives you time for yourself, and you learn to pay bills.
And it gives you perceptions of like how life can be in another country, how you can live in another country, especially living on your own. Because also, like, I lived in another city in Romania, but my mom was sending me food through a bus, so I was always like having homemade food by my mom.
Yeah, full on disclaimer, my mom did send me food.
Also
Denmark.
Here,
because I missed the chorba. I had to. It had to be done.
The traditional soups, the sour soups.
Yeah, it had to be done. But
Okay, but how many relationships have you had in your life?
Okay, so I had high school boyfriend, high school boyfriend, high school boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
High school boyfriend.
So 4 so far.
Semi-relationship, and then an important relationship. So I think like 6.
Yeah.
And then like, of course, flirt in between and stuff like that.
Other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's actually quite a lot at 23 years old.
Yeah, but like, you know.
But it's good. Like, it's good you've experienced a lot.
I think it's good to have them. It wasn't always good because I think only once I had someone that was the same age as me. And then all my other partners were like 3, 4, 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
And sometimes even then I couldn't level with the level of emotional lack of growth. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it happens because 3 or 4 years old, it should be fine, but it's not necessarily like that. Like, it's not a rule that everybody has to be to a certain maturity or a certain level of intelligence until that point, you know, because,
absolutely.
you know, experience, all the experience that you have in your life and all the actions that you do kind of guide you through that mental level of where you are. And yeah, we are not the same.
Yeah, but that's what's been going on so far.
Okay. You've recently broke up with your ex-boyfriend, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's recent. It's recent, but it's on good terms. It came from as weird as this sounds, it came from a place of love.
Yeah.
I decided to take a step and be honest about the situation and tell it as soon as I took my decisions and be like, hey, we gotta sit down, we gotta talk. This is what's been going on. These are my decisions. What are the next steps to be done? What I'm gonna do to work on myself and what I believe you should do to work on yourself. Of course, it's solely your decision if you want to do that. But I think because I love you and I still love you, I want to tell you, I think these things have not been fair or not good for our relationship. So even if we get back together at some point, or you'll be with someone else, like you to grow from this experience.
Yeah.
So
that is a very nice way to put it and to actually communicate that to your partner. But for how long have you been together with him?
2 years and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay,
2 years and a half.
Quite a long relationship. Yeah. And he's Danish, right? So he's from Denmark.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's also one of the reasons why you are moving. Like, the breakup with him was because you want to move back to Romania somehow.
No, it's a series of circumstances that led me to my decision. So for me, in order to thrive and be good for myself and the people around me, I have to have an environment that is rewarding to me. Yeah. An environment where I feel at peace, where I feel like, oh yeah, I want to do that thing and pick up on this hobby. And I didn't have that for a long time. So I think that, first of all, moving to Denmark was insanely traumatic. Like,
oh yeah, I get you.
And everybody knows this because it's a thing that you're like, you find yourself in a new country when you're 18. You're basically a baby.
Yeah.
And you have to learn all these new things and you have all these new responsibilities. You got to go to school. You got to find a job. You got to pay the bills. You feel alone.
Yeah.
And you have to also deal with the culture shock, even though the culture might be super good.
Yeah, but it's definitely different than what you were used to and what you lived with your whole life.
Yeah. So that was that. And then, of course, with that, it's not only that you might get traumatized, but then you also start to develop like health issues. Like a lot of girls have hormonal problems after they move to another country because of all the stress and stuff.
Yeah.
You might gain weight. It's a whole bunch.
I lost a lot of weight and then I put it all back even more.
Yeah.
So it's like this shifts of energy and what you're used to do. Because for me, it was more, I lost weight because I didn't have time to eat because I was doing so many things when I moved to Denmark, and then I didn't even feel like I was not eating. And then one day I sat down and I realized, oh my God, I was eating 2 slices of bread per day, one in the morning, one in the evening. That was it. And that just got to me. And then I started training like crazy. And then I got an appetite and then I started eating and then I gained a lot of weight. So it just goes like that. Yeah. And it depends on the person and the body type and what they are doing in stressful situations.
It's It's definitely a roller coaster. Would I change it for anything in the world? Absolutely not. Like, very grateful for the experience. I wouldn't be the person that I am today without the experiences that I had.
That is wonderful. That's a very nice thing to say.
Thank you.
And it's very true.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And it's actually just a call for action, I think, for a lot of people that want to get out of their comfort zone and don't know how to do it. I think this is not the easiest thing, but it's a very effective way to actually get to know yourself better if you move somewhere else, because then you can be whoever the fuck you want to be. Nobody knows you. You can just start over from the beginning and just grow and grow and grow from that experience.
And it's such a beautiful feeling, and you have to be put in these situations where you might feel, oh, the comfort zone, the when you live with your parents, going back to that, there's always a safety net.
Oh, yeah.
You're always like, oh, I can fuck up as much as I want, probably. And there's still be someone to catch me.
Exactly.
And you don't get a lot of responsibility from that. But if you move to another country and you're like, oh, I got to go to school and I got to go do my job and I got to go pay my bills and I got to go to get that internship or job and stuff like that, it puts a lot of pressure on you. But it also gives you this sense of responsibility that it's super rewarding in the long run.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I did that. So what else can I do?
Yeah.
If I survived that.
Yeah.
So going back to your question, it's just a series of circumstances where I've been on autopilot for so long that I didn't let my emotions go through, or maybe I absolutely didn't have any emotions at some point. And I was just like, okay, I feel like I'm a fly on the wall wherever I go. I can't find my spot. I feel like I'm walking the earth like a ghost. And I cannot have that anymore, because I see myself when I go back to Romania. I'm so cheery and like laughing, and like not all my jokes are good, but like, you know, people are being polite about it.
But, people laugh even though it's not funny. That's the good friends, you know. That's the people.
It's
the
like,
people.
Yeah, let her embarrass herself for 5 more minutes, and then we'll cut her off. So I've been home recently, and then I had this feeling coming back to me again, and I was like, okay, I know what I need to do. But I made the elegant exit. And I told everybody how it is and how it's done, and that it's nothing personal, but it's for myself. And Denmark is the kind of country where you can walk into an office and be like, hey, listen, I'm not doing well. Yeah, and I need this for my mental health. And I need this too. And people will be like, yeah, we'll do that.
Mm-hmm. That is great, because I know that in a lot of countries they don't give a fuck about mental health and psychology and how you feel.
Go to Romania and be like, I don't feel okay today. And be like, okay, sure.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you can't go to work. If you're not going to work, you're fired. Like they don't really give a fuck in other countries, but here it's a country where they do, and it's actually nice in that sense. Even though psychology is super expensive to get a psychologist and get mental health, to get help with your mental health.
Yeah, I had my psychologist from Romania because I needed someone to be in my own culture.
Oh, that's so nice. Actually, that's such a good idea. Yeah. I should do that too.
Yeah, because like you get to speak in your own language. And
I actually like it more in English, because I feel like I'm not sort of Romanian anymore. It's hard for me to speak in Romanian most of the times because I can't express myself anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm just I feel like right now I'm an international. I feel like I don't belong to Romania. I don't belong to Denmark. I don't belong anywhere. I just belong to the world. Yeah. Sort of. Yeah.
She belongs to the streets.
Yeah, to the streets. I'll take my blanket. You'll see me there tomorrow.
Yeah. No, but I opted for Romanian psychologist because of the language. Like, I missed it so much. Like, don't get me wrong. I talk with my mom 5 times a day.
Yeah, I also talk with my mom every day. It's
it's... And we talk about everything, and then it could be a half an hour phone call, 15 minutes, an hour and a half.
Oh wow.
You never know.
That's a really good connection you have.
Yeah, she's my bestie. You know, she's a good mama. So yeah. But and then the price, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But I would pay the Danish price. If that is something that I will have to do, I would pay the Danish price.
Yeah.
Because it's so important, and it's important to go and check yourself, even if you feel that you don't have problems.
Yeah.
I truly believe that, unfortunately, no one goes through life undamaged in some sort of way.
Oh, yeah. My perception on it is that I feel that right now, people don't have that many problems anymore. And I think that is because, back in the days, there was communism in Romania, for example, and there were wars, and there were so many other things to focus on. But right now, that is decreasing. Of course, it's still happening in some places. There's still issues, macro issues that we're still seeing,
absolutely.
But not as many that actually influence the overall society, like the people and all that. And right now, we have to search for some other problems, because without problems, the good things are not going to matter and they're not going to seem as nice. So then we go into the psychology, into the deep stuff, because when our grandparents were in the war, they had a lot of issues. They came with a lot of psychological issues that impacted our parents, and then the parents had their own issues that impacted us and all that. So every fucking person in this world has a mental health issue or disease, trauma, whatever it is. It exists everywhere. And I don't believe that somebody says, I don't have mental health issues. Everybody does. Yeah. I don't believe that exists.
Absolutely. And it's a thing that it's a choice at the end, knowing that we have so much information and so many resources. I'm talking that from a privileged standpoint, because I can actually afford to go and see a specialist, and I know some people don't, and I feel for that.
Yeah, I mean, there are situations and there are options also for people that don't afford to go to the psychologist, especially if you're young, if you're under 25 or under 30. There's a lot of programs that help young people that need to deal with issues from their childhood or whatever issues that might have. And in some situations also you can get it from your workplace. If you're really unhappy and you cannot do your work properly, then it is a possibility that your work can help you with a certain amount, or if not, you can go to your municipality and they can help you. There are solutions for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But it's a matter of choice.
Yeah.
Do you want to break that cycle, that generational curse of having it from your grandparents, then your parents? Do you want to do that? Do you want to be like at some point that, I'm a better person, so I won't replicate the same behaviors as my parents? It's not a situation that you're like, I'm judging my parents so much. No, it's just looking objectively what you think they haven't done correctly, and then be like, I don't want to do that, and I want to genuinely be a bit better person, and I don't want to give bad stuff to my children.
Yeah,
in their education.
Put that in the world, because even though you say, I'm not gonna be like my parents, I'm gonna be the total opposite, but it's the opposite of that bad thing, which is anyways gonna lead to something bad in the future for your kids.
It's just another extreme.
Yeah, it's just another, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So the thing is, you need to kind of be in the middle, and you need to heal yourself in order to make sure that your life is at, let's say, like a middle point. Like it's not, you're not drowning, but you're also not flying or whatever. Yeah. Like it's all good.
For me, the moving back to Romania is part of my healing process.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do for myself and for the people around me. Because if I'm a grumpy fucker walking around, I'm not going to give anything good to anybody.
No.
And I'm going to keep dragging down myself, my work, my partnerships, my friends, my romantic life. And I just don't want to do any of that. And I truly believe that if you're not a happy person single, you're not going to be a happy person in a relationship.
Not at all.
So solve your shit, kids. And then
yeah. Well, I do believe that how much work we're doing on ourselves and how much we're healing, we are never gonna be fully healed. But at least, if we have some deep demons out there, that are really affecting our life, our friends, our family, everything that needs to be dealt with in a certain way, that we kind of understand that we have that issue. And then when that issue occurs in our everyday life, we know how to kind of identify it and how to understand it and put it aside without affecting other people. Because most of the times you're never going to get rid of your demons, but at least you're going to be aware of it, and at least you're going to be able to diminish the impact that can have on your loved ones.
Absolutely. I know my triggers. So then when I get triggered by something that someone said, it might not even be that they said something that offensive or stuff like that. I know I'm able to track the red thread in my head and be like, I know where that comes from.
Yeah.
And I should not have an angry response towards this person, because it's not what they said, it's what I got triggered by and my former memories that And I genuinely, I just shut up and I go to another room. And then when I'm calm, I just come back and I'm like, hey, listen, it might not have been that bad what you said to me, but I have X, I, Y, Z, whatever. And this is my situation. Please do not do that to me again. Set the boundary, stick with it, respect yourself and respect the other person. So that's how I go about it.
Yeah. It's a healthy approach.
Yeah.
And we all, I think, have different approaches on how we deal with our situation. But the thing is, I think the most important thing is first to realize what the problems that, or what your issues, your triggers, whatever you have is. So then you can assess it and you can make kind of like a plan of, okay, if this occurs in my life, in my everyday life, what do I do? And then, go by that afterwards. But I actually wanted to ask you, what do you think is the most important thing, or one of the most important things that makes a relationship work from your point of view?
I think it's love and respect for each other, each other's time, each other's hobbies, each other's interests in life, each other's careers. Because the thing is, with being in love, that's the easiest part. But it goes away. In 3 years, the chemicals in your brain, they just bye. And they go away. And you're left with, you have to be left with the ability to respect each other, love each other, and communicate with each other.
Yeah.
And I really feel that either in my relationships and what I hear from other people don't know how to communicate with each other. Or to take the communication seriously and be like, oh, like, you get so upset all the time. Like, you're such a crybaby. I got that from many of my girlfriends, and I felt that in my own life. And I was like, shut the fuck up, please. Like, I told you I don't like this. Why can't you respect that?
Yeah, it's a boundary.
Yeah.
And it's something that I feel like people judge a lot because they don't understand it, because they don't go through that exact thing that you're going through. And that's why for them it's easy to kind of feel like, okay, I don't feel that. So I think you're kind of weird for doing it. Why do you do this? Yeah. Or like kind of judge you for it. When it's the right approach, I think it would be more like, okay, I see that you have this behavior in these kind of situations. Why is that? I want to understand because I want to feel close to you. I want to have a better connection with you. So how can we make this work in order for both of us to feel okay and not be judged or not be sad or mad or get into an argument?
Yeah.
So I think, and communication, definitely.
Yeah. And it's also that take responsibility and accountability for the things you might say. Everybody fucks up.
Oh yeah.
It is what it is. You had a bad day. If you realized, I shouldn't have said that, like, that wasn't nice of me, go and talk to the person, be like, hey, I'm sorry about what I said. And if the partner, you come back and you say, hey, I'm sorry, and you ask your partner, what are you sorry for?
Yeah.
And the answer should be, I'm sorry for what I said, not be like, oh, you know what I'm sorry for, like, whatever.
And sometimes it's not even about that. I actually have 2 friends that had an agreement recently, and none of them wanted to say sorry for what they did. Yeah. And I was like, it's okay, because it was your point of view. You reacted from something, and you don't want to say that you're sorry for your reaction because that was you.
Yeah.
But what you can say that can actually make the other person feel understood. It's more, I am sorry that my actions made you feel that way. Because you didn't intend your actions to make that person feel miserable.
Absolutely.
You just did the reaction because you felt like doing it. And you don't have to say sorry for it. You just have to say a sorry. You just have, that person needs to know that you didn't want it to hurt them. That's the only thing. And that's what people need to understand. A sorry doesn't mean that you're lowering your standards and you're putting yourself low. Yeah. It just means that you are trying to get to the same level with the other person and you're trying to make things work.
Yeah, because the relationship is more important. To have that connection with someone is more important than keeping your ego at hold. Or also in a relationship, I think it's insanely important that people remain individuals.
Oh, yeah.
And that they don't mix everything together. There are couples that just become the same person after 2 years. And I'm like...
their interests just go like this. And then everything that they do together. And if one of them wants to do something and the other doesn't, then they're not going to do it because they're not going to do it separately. They have to do it together.
And you have to have your own autonomy and you have to have your own independence. Like the financial part, for instance. If you're together with someone, I believe even if you're married, you should not put your money together. It's up to everybody's agreement to do as they wish, but I personally wouldn't do that. Because if I leave you or you leave me, someone's gonna cash out.
Yeah.
Probably not favorably. So have a joint bank account for your expenses.
Yeah.
I have my
put
friends.
Money together for stuff. I put 500, you put 500, we have 1,000, we buy this couch.
Yeah, absolutely. But keep your finances at place and have your own friends that are different.
Yeah, that is very good also.
And sometimes go check out with your friends to see if you're flying over the cuckoo's nest or not. If you're I know people who are like, yeah, I'm not gonna talk with my friends, like I'm not gonna ask for their advice, I don't need their advice. I'm like, you're a slippery slope of not checking up on yourself.
Yeah, because that's the thing, especially when you're in a relationship, you think that you think straight, but most of the times you don't.
No, God, love is blind. Love is so fucking blind.
Yeah, like all the emotions, all the stuff in your brain that makes you feel like, okay, this is right, I'm doing this because I love him, I'm doing this, for him and for me and for the relationship to work. But then at some point you realize, bitch, you're not doing it for you.
Yeah.
You're only doing it because he wants you to do it, or because, some other reasons. And then you figure out that you lost yourself in that relationship, and maybe the other person did the same. And then without the relationship, you're nothing.
Yeah.
And that's why you need to talk with your friends and be like, am I too much? Is this too much?
Yeah.
Did this got too far?
Yeah.
Or what is the situation? Because it's so much different. I can see it in people that have relationships right now, and I'm meeting up with them and I can see it and I'm like, I want to say it, but I don't. Because if I say it, I'm the bad person. But if the person comes to me and asks me, do you think this is okay? I feel like our relationship is going really well, but I don't know, what do you think? Like, am I acting okay and all that? And I'm like, I would be like, okay, well, I think it's going quite well, but like you can maybe pay attention to this, and try to not lose yourself into this relationship. Because then I would say something, but otherwise it's kind of hard from somebody from the outside to, just storm into the relationship.
It really depends. Like, I think I have probably 3 people in my life that are so close to me that I know so well, and I have only the best intentions from them, that if I would see them drown in some situation, I'll be like, yo, wake up.
Yeah, in that situation, yes. If it's like really those are close like friends, then yeah.
Your family, like the friends that you made your family, and they are so close to you. And it can definitely be a slippery slope with relationships.
Of course.
And you never know. And, we have a saying in Romanian, you can eat a bag of salt with someone and still not know them fully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really true. Okay, my last question for you.
Oh.
What is your plan now that you're moving back to Romania? What do you think is going to happen in your love life? Do you have any plans?
I'm staying away for a good period of time, probably. But you can never,
obviously, you can never know.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no. I'm still very, very much in love with my ex-boyfriend. Like, there's still a lot of love there.
Yeah.
It was hard to take this decision. It broke my heart in a million fucking pieces, but it had to be done because I put myself first, and I choose to respect myself and
of course.
take my health and everything more seriously than other things. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea.
Okay, it's a surprise. We'll see.
I'm gonna go live with my mom. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Nothing is gonna happen then.
No, and I don't look at it because I'm not a serial dater.
Okay.
I had long periods of time in between relationships, 2 years, a year, that I was like, I'm doing my own thing. No. Mm-hmm. And this whole moving back home is about rediscovering myself.
Yeah.
It's about me. And I miss being me. And I'm also, because of my zodiac sign.
What is your zodiac sign?
Aquarius?
Aquarius?
Yeah. I like to be alone. I love being left the fuck alone. So, I miss that. Just making my own schedule and not having to have people around me all the time.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. That sounds so healthy. So almost like a spa vacation.
Yeah, it's
right?
like... And I feel at this point, if you want your relationship to last longer, don't move in together.
Oh, yeah.
Super
I know.
fast.
I've made that mistake.
Don't do that. Because you're going to end up like 2 homeless people in the same house. and you're gonna smell each other's smells and stuff like that, it's not worth it.
No.
Keep it out. And then, when you go for a date, you still get ready and you're still pretty.
Yeah.
You're excited to go. It's not
and you have your time alone. You have you have enough time to get to miss that person. So then the love is still there.
Yeah.
And you're still looking forward to see them and all that. But I think that's something that is very important in relationships in general, to keep a little bit of space and to keep things interesting.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Take time for yourself, focus on you, and then when you're finished with that, just remember, oh yeah, there's another person, there's this person in my life as well. Yeah. So I can actually spend time with them. But that's your choice. It's not something that you do because, oh yeah, he's here in my house, so I have to hang out with him because otherwise it's awkward, or otherwise he's gonna get mad or whatever. It's just like, put yourself first and then figure out stuff afterwards.
Absolutely. And this is gonna sound crazy, but I think of relationships that I have with people as, let's call it, business plans. Okay. Or like businesses. I give you something. If I don't get the positive return on investment on that,
oh wow, that's so nerdy.
I'm running, like, my cash flow is not in order. We have a problem. Like, if I give you all my love and trust and respect and all this, and I don't feel that you're giving that back to me, in the way and the ways you know how to do that, I'm not. No.
Well, yeah, it's all about putting the same energy and putting the same effort into
and I do that with everybody. Absolutely everybody. Family, friends, boyfriends. If I have to cut you, I'll cut you. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. It is what it is.
Yeah. No hard feelings. My cash flow is not working there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Got a call from my accountant. Shit ain't working. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's only working 9 to 5. So. Yeah. Well, that was a very nerdy ending. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we had some very deep talks, and I think and I hope it's going to help a lot of people to realize if they are in a relationship, how is that going for them? And if they're not in a relationship, what they should do before being in one.
Be healthy and be happy and make sure you're at calm and at zen with your life, because if you don't fix yourself, anybody else can do that.
True.
So
that's very true.
Just do that.
Yeah.
And keep an eye on your return on investment. Make sure your numbers are in order.
Yeah, the numbers are adding up.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. And bye everybody, and see you next week with another episode.